Alright, listen, I wasn't going to be making this video, but we're here now. Today I'm going to be talking about Black Clover. Oh boy. Now I do have to mention, this is my opinion, so if you disagree with it, be free to comment down below, be free to dislike the video all you want. This is my opinion. I personally really love Black Clover. I'm just trying to prove to you why Black Clover I think is actually worth the watch, especially with the movie coming. Now, just to bring this up straight away, because I know people are going to mention it, there is a lot of shouting on the show. Now, if you don't like shouting, this show is probably not for you, just because I've heard people complain about this probably more than anything. Like, you go into any Crunchyroll video, you see any YouTube video, they always mention it. So, do take that into account. Oh yeah, I'm also just going to say, I watched this anime in dub. I feel like it's actually better in dub because I've heard the actual JP voicing and oh my god, that is annoying. Holy crap. But there is good stuff in this show, and actually, I do like the show for a lot of reasons. So we're going to talk about the filler. Now, there is only, apparently, don't quote me on this, there's 4 episodes of filler in the first 100 episodes, which is already a W. If you're a person who doesn't like filler, this is perfect for you. Really, apart from the filler, the pacing is relatively good in Black Clover. I think preparing for missions is the only part that is probably weaker, just because it does go on for a little bit sometimes. But the general fights are pretty good, and when something crazy does happen, it really does kick in. I actually do think the best part of this anime is probably the way that Asta actually gets his power. I'm not going to show a clip of it because I feel like it actually is probably the biggest spoiler. It is honestly probably my favorite part in any anime, just for how someone acquires their power. Just the way it's shown and the way they do it, I feel like it's so well done. It does actually really show Asta's personality really well of him not giving up. And it really shows Yuno off well as well, with just how he acts, and he doesn't really care that much. Even though kind of cliche at times, I feel like it makes sense though. It's not just some weird cringiness like a lot of anime have. And the show doesn't really take itself too seriously. It's nothing absolutely mind-boggling or super confusing or even like super emotional either. In general, it's just a relatively fun anime. Now listen, I wasn't going to talk about this already in the video, but we're going to talk about the openings. Oh my lord. If you've not heard any of them, the openings are so good. They're like probably the best openings out there. There's pretty much 13 openings at the moment, and none of them are bad, in my opinion. My friend doesn't like one of them, but 12 out of 13 openings being really good is a W for me. And actually the music on the show, when actual fights kick in, it's probably the best part about Black Clover, to be honest. So if you decide to not even watch a show, just listen to the openings. Search them up right now. Honestly, so worth it. Now, even though Asta is such a good character, he doesn't really overshadow the whole group as a whole. There is a lot of characters in the anime that they actually give a lot of time to. Like, you will see characters that you wouldn't actually think they give time to. They give time to a lot of the characters in the show. And honestly, it builds a world really well because you know what a character's like. You know what they've been through. And you know their basic story. And honestly, some of my favorite characters are characters that aren't even big parts of the show. Characters that just pop up from time to time, but when they pop up, it's just funny, or it's just like, oh, this person's here, this is gonna be a good time. And you know, if people online say that Black Clover is better than Naruto, then you know it's gotta be true, right? But let's talk about the animation. Now, the animations are actually really good. I think they really did well with Black Clover. I think it looks really good. I think it honestly captures all the characters pretty much perfectly. I feel like any other animation style just wouldn't really suit Black Clover. And it's kind of like My Hero for me, where I don't think they could really went for any other art style. I think it honestly just really suits the anime. If you're just a fan of shonen anime and you really just enjoy fight scenes most of the time, this anime does not disappoint. The story still links super well, really does keep you on your toes, and the animation of these fights is honestly really good. Now, I'm gonna be honest, the anime isn't perfect. There is a few problems with it. Like, the animation isn't perfect. Even though some of the fight scenes do look really good, sometimes it's not the best. And there can be times in the story where it does kind of get a bit repetitive and you're kind of just sat there, you're like, are we actually going to be doing this, or are we just going to be preparing for this mission? Are we literally going to go to the beach for 2 straight episodes just to find out we have to go somewhere else? And it just keeps going like that. And it doesn't really begin with it being a little bit cheesy. Like I was saying before, it's quite cliche, but it is very cheesy. I mean, there are times where the character would just repeat the same thing over and over again. I want to be a wizard king. I want to be a wizard king. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up. And it kind of just does that repetitive cycle. But you do get used to it. And I like I said before, it's kind of a charm of it, I think. If you don't like that, I feel like this anime won't be for you. But if you have watched many other shonen anime, a lot of it is repetitive either way, but not to the extent where you're just going to go absolutely insane, in my opinion at least. And then I've actually seen people compare it to like animes like Fairy Tail, and I mean, I couldn't really watch Fairy Tail. I felt like Fairy Tail was actually quite boring at the start. It is very, very predictable. And there is similarities to Black Clover with that. I feel like Black Clover is just less predictable than Fairy Tail, and maybe that's a hot take or something, but there are parts of the show where it's like, okay, I didn't actually see this coming. But that's just my opinion. Now, if you actually do want to watch Black Clover, or if you don't, at the end of the day, it's up to you. The title and thumbnail is kind of misleading in some way, but at the end of the day, I feel like it is the best time to watch Black Clover. With the movie and game coming out, I don't really feel like there's a better time to watch it. And with just how good the game actually looks, by the way, I'm just going to say, I'm actually pretty excited for it. But if you did enjoy the video, please do drop us a like. It honestly does help out a lot. I put a lot of work into these videos recently, so maybe you guys enjoy them this way. And if you do actually have any other suggestions for what next video I should do, just comment down below. But I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.